Hello, Illuminaries, and welcome to this segment of Female Fearless and Fabulous. I am Karen, your community manager here at Illuminate. This month's topic is a really hot topic about relationships and boundaries. And today, specifically, we will be speaking on the subject of speaking up courageously. We have a fantastic guest speaker here today who will be speaking more about how she's developed speaking up courageously when it comes to relationships and boundaries, both at home as well as professionally. And without further ado, I would please welcome Scarlett Jiang, who is coming all the way from Shanghai, who will be speaking with us today for the next 30 minutes. Welcome, Scarlett.
Thank you, Karen. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Karen, for having me today. My name is Scarlett, and a little bit about myself. So for the past 16 years, I've been working with high-tech companies specializing in regional talent acquisition. Throughout my career, I've been deeply passionate about empowering women to lead fearlessly, set boundaries, and achieve their goals both professionally and personally. Today, I'm thrilled to share more about, like the insights and the strategies that have helped me and many others navigate their challenges successfully.
Thank you, Scarlett. We are very, very grateful for you to be here because you have a wealth of knowledge and words of wisdom to share with us, and I can't wait to share this with the community. Something we like to kick off here at Illuminate is we like to ask one question before we go straight into it is what's one thing not on your LinkedIn profile?
There are actually a lot, but I have to say one thing you won't find on my LinkedIn profile is that I'm a mom to an amazing 9-year-old daughter, who is grade two. So balancing motherhood with my career, has been one of my greatest challenges and my greatest source of inspiration as well. She reminds me every single day why it's so important to lead by example.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scarlett, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And absolutely, it's important to be conscious of that, isn't it? Especially as the kids develop and evolve as they grow older. Thank you. So
Definitely.
let's kick things off then and go straight into the questions that I have for you. The first one is, what are your top strategies to maintain boundaries that have helped you to stay laser focused on your goals?
Right, that's a very good question. So I actually have been practicing as well. I think 2 points very important, and finally it's they are very effective. The first one is we need to realize that time is our most precious resource and it's non-retrievable. I now use time blocking to dedicate specific hours every day to high priority tasks. So which helps me really stay focused and ensure I'm not over committing and just like really head down. And the second thing is learn to say no. I think like early in my career, I struggled with saying no. I used to take on every project task that came my way. So thinking it would be helpful, for me to get ahead. But I quickly realized that overcommitting or shy to say no left me only without burnout and unfocused. So now I set clear boundaries by prioritizing my goals for the week, which actually ties with my long-term goal and saying no to anything that doesn't align with them. Yeah, I think it worked actually.
That's amazing. And so for the week, do you normally do it in the weekend? So it's from Monday onwards, or when do you normally set your weekly goals?
So I would log some time on Monday morning. So
Okay.
say an hour, actually it can be we can do a lot of things and a lot of planning. And it helps to set clear goals throughout the week. And
Yeah.
on a Friday afternoon or like say sometimes during the weekend. It's also like really good just to reflect and to readjust. Yeah.
Amazing. And just on that note, because it needs to align with your longer term goals as well, what are the checkpoints within the month or the year would you reevaluate and make sure you're still on that same goal?
That's a good question because like we've been very busy. So I think to set up a system to track your goals is very important. So for me, the beginning of the year, of course, we have New Year resolution, but it's not bad actually. We need to have the New Year goals and resolution, and then divide it into different like every month. So in the beginning of each month and then the same, just divide it into small goals into every week. So
Mm.
every week, every month, every year.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Excellent. The second question I have for you is, what advice would you give women to develop the courage to speak up, especially in challenging conversations at work or in the personal life? And you said over time you've learned the art of saying no, but how do we get there for women who still struggle with that?
Yeah, definitely it requires courage. But courage is a muscle that we need to build through preparation, practice, and especially like reframe our mindset. I would say a lot of the times, instead of focusing on what if I sound stupid? Is it like too easy? Just like think about or ask yourself, what value can I add with confidence, with the conviction? And also, very important, just to embrace imperfection. Like,
Mm.
we don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to prepare, like, have to be at the end, right? Just acknowledge and it's totally fine. The other practice I use, which was very useful, is to get well prepared. Script your key points. Find an ally or like someone you trust, just to do a role play before you are going to have a difficult conversation. And when you are having the conversation, do you try to use, for example, SBI model, situation, behavior, impact. So it's more like structured, objective, and talking about what's happening and also like the result. And also, I would say sometimes it's also very difficult to have conversations with the ones that we love. For example, family members. So I do have an example. My mom, like my parents, they would come to our home like every single day just to help, right? But then I actually need space. I know. So it actually took me a while. I was very struggling, afraid to like hurt their feelings. But then I really just like I think it's important. So I told them I understand that you want to help, and but I need to be honest. When you come without asking, it makes me feel I don't have personal space, and let's find a way to move forward. And then like we found a way that like worked for both of us. Um, and at work, confidence built over time. When we are like also like addressing the common challenges, but we also seek for win-win. Always remember that courage over comfort. It's a challenge of choosing courage over our comfort. And you're also paving the way for others to do the same.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think I've been I was still practicing, but it worked, believe me.
That's amazing. And I love courage over comfort. And also if you don't ask, you don't receive, right? So ask and you shall receive. If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, what's the worst case, right? Just
Yeah,
try.
yeah, absolutely. I just read something from Roxy Nafusi recently, and she said confidence is vulnerability as well. It's not, not knowing all the answers and working together along the way, aligning with goals in mind and working towards that goal together, right? So thank you for that. That's really, really useful and insightful. Now, you told us that you are a mother of a 9-year-old daughter, and you are an incredibly driven professional as well. You've managed to stay laser focused on your goals. How can you please share some insights for how women can set boundaries without guilt? Because you did mention how at home with your parents, you've managed to say how you really feel, which is fantastic. And it's rare because I feel, especially in the Asian culture, there's a lot of nuances there. Um, but what about in terms of perhaps juggling with work and with home, with your daughter? How often do you get to see her, and how do you remind yourself that you are on the right path?
Yeah, I think it's also a question that struggling a lot of working mom. But the reality is that we are human, and there are only 24 hours a day. Uh, we simply can't do it all. So I think that's why outsourcing or delegating where possible is essential. Building a strong rapport, a support system at home can make a significant difference. So, for example, when I travel, and my husband will just like commit that week he won't travel. So, and also as a mom, I've learned that setting boundary isn't selfish; it's necessary. I prioritize time for my family, my daughter, myself, just as I would for a critical work meeting. So it's the same. So it's about focusing on quality over quantity. I think importantly, just let go of the guilt that comes with the pressure to do it all. We are mom, but like we're not. We are also like human. So I think like this is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are doing what we can do best, right? As long as we do our best and obviously prioritizing, and that's the main thing. Absolutely. So thank you for that. What are the step-by-step strategies that have helped you overcome obstacles and maintain your fearless approach in your professional life?
Yeah. So I think like when I face with obstacles, I focus on what I can control. There are a lot of things that are out of our control, and then take one step at a time. Uh, just try reframe our mindset. Don't get very anxious. Focus on small and achievable actions, and then it brings small success. So I also at the same time just remind myself that failure is part of the journey. It's just like not avoiding setbacks, and don't get upset. And it's normal, but learning from them and moving forward, and then we grow. Also celebrate small wins to build momentum and confidence. For example, I had a great, just a very small, a great meeting yesterday. And then after the meeting, I was like, okay, even though I've already had the coffee, but I'll treat myself with another very expensive coffee, just like to, just to, celebrate what I've done just now.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and it builds our resilience. So it definitely worked, just like recognition to ourselves.
Love it. I love it. On that topic, Scarlett, how did you build your fearless perspective and mindset? Is that something that you felt was built into you from your parents, or did you read books for it, or how did you do it?
So I definitely learned a lot, observed and learned a lot from my mom. She never gave up, like for any problems, ever since like I was a kid. And I was here like seeing like she never gave up, like her job, despite, like raising two kids with my father is like traveling, abroad all the time. So and whenever there's problems, just trying to find a solution. So I think like part of this also motivates me to behave like this and just to set an example to my daughter is like finding solutions. So that's how I formed my resilience. And also
Mm,
like one of my top five strengths is positivity. So I think with resilience and positivity, I don't really it's really formed how I just quickly recover from setback, or I quickly find solutions and really focus on how and what's next.
mm,
Yeah, so I think this really help. And the second one is I read a lot. I listen
mm,
to podcast. I also read, and for example, Li Ying is one of my favorite book. By just like knowing, okay, like what are other female leaders or like female working mom they are doing, and their examples. And also, I have a lot of amazing female friends.
mm.
Yeah, so like it's the energy and the vibe around me, all very helpful.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. You're right. Community is also super important, isn't it? It's who you are around that will influence who you can become as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you. Now, as a another question I wanted to ask you was how can we build a successor roadmap for women to take ownership of their power, set strong boundaries, and unapologetically speak their truth, whether it's in the boardroom or leadership or in their personal lives?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's a journey. Um, but like to start, definitely is to start with clarity.
Mm,
Ask yourself, where do you see yourself in the next 3 or 5 years? So for example, for me, I always visualize where I will be in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's important to define your vision and the long-term goals, and it guides you. And then break those goals into actionable steps with timelines. I think we talk about that actually, when I look back, I have achieved all the goals that I set for my 30, 35, and my upcoming 40, 45. I think I have the confidence to achieve those as well.
mm,
So the third one is to remember to regularly review and adjust your roadmap, your goals as needed. We are not perfect. There are circumstances happening. So just it's okay, just like to pause or expedite. But the end goal is there. And the fourth one is to build a support system of mentors, peers, and
mm,
allies. So I have a coach as well. And I think, like it's important to have someone be there and to elevate ourselves. Yeah, so I think like those are just like the daily roadmap for myself,
yeah.
and I wanted to share with everyone.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for that. On the coach aspect as well, they are worth their weight in gold, aren't they? Because as you said, they are taking an outsider perspective and a neutral ground as well, and being able to guide you. And that's really, really key in making sure you stay on your path. Um, no, I completely agree with you on that. So thank you so much.
Great, great. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. I really, really appreciate your time on this because there were so many golden nuggets from this chat. Um, you are someone I really admire, Scarlett. You are, I've spoken to many women in the past, and it is, I'd say, rare to be incredibly focused and I love how the drive that you have. And so I look forward to sharing this with the community so they can be inspired by you. And Illuminaries, I will also put in Scarlett's LinkedIn profile. If you'd want to connect with her, please do. She is someone who is such an inspiring leader. So you can learn more about what she does as well. So again, thank you so much, Scarlett, for your time. And we'll look forward to seeing everyone else for the next episode of